Hello, beautiful Aquarius, and welcome to your reading for this month of October 2025. Today I will be drawing your cards from the Mystic Psyche Tarot. And then to close off your reading, I will be drawing an oracle card from the Magical Spirit. So, Aquarius, let's see what Spirit has for you for this month of October 2025. In your overall energy, Aquarius, you have the Sun in reversed. In your blockages, or what needs to be released this month, you have the Ace of Swords. And Aquarius, in your strengths, you have the Ten of Swords in reverse. In your hopes and fears this month, you have the Ten of Wands in reversed. And what you need to be celebrating this month, what you need to be celebrating this month of October, Aquarius, you have the Emperor. And to close this reading for the month, you have the Seven of Swords, Aquarius. So quite a bit of sword energy in this reading, Aquarius. And I mean, straight away, it feels like you're kind of in the middle of potentially the last 6 months where you've been trying to reclaim your identity or trying to reclaim your clarity. So it feels like you're stepping out of a really heavy fog and you're finally starting to see yourself again. There's this sense that you've been carrying way too much for way too long, but Spirit's showing me this image of a red balloon floating up into the sky, floating up into the air, and it really feels like a symbol of release, or maybe even a promise that your spirit is now rising above what once weighed you down. So to start with Aquarius, we do have the Sun in reverse here, and this feels like a little bit of a temporary dimming of your light. You might have felt like the usual spark that you have, that inventive, visionary energy that you have, Aquarius, has just been that little bit out of reach lately. And maybe you've been doubting your progress, or maybe you've just been really struggling to find that joy, to find that joy in things that once felt fulfilling to you, and they're just not feeling that way anymore. And I feel like this reading in general is just saying the light isn't gone. It's just passing behind a cloud. Some of you could literally right now be dealing with burnout, Aquarius. I feel exhaustion in this, and I definitely get a really heavy sense of just this lack of inspiration. So maybe take October as a time where you can just rest, reset. You do need time and space to recharge, and you've got nothing to prove this month is the feeling that I'm getting. So here we have the Ace of Swords, and this is what you do need to try and release this month of October. So it's like it comes slicing through the fog, this sword. And what this is truth, this is revelation. It feels like your aha moment, Aquarius. You could really receive some unexpected news this month. You could really get like a mental breakthrough this month, or you could just really finally cut ties with a cycle or a situation that's been getting your head in a bit of a twist, giving you a lot of confusion. Some of you might literally be signing something this month. You could be signing contracts or really important documents, or you could just be releasing somebody's words from your energy once and for all. I'm getting the image of burning an old love note in the fire, So hey, if you do need to burn a love note in their fire, then this full moon is perfect for that. So here we have the Ten of Swords in reversed in your strengths. And I love this for you. This is like a really strong recovery energy. And it is your energy, Aquarius. You know, you've hit the bottom before. This isn't the first time, but something about you seem to just rebuild and rebuild stronger and stronger every time. And you know, you're not the same person you were before that heartbreak or that betrayal. And this is that reclaiming moment, the phoenix rising moment, Aquarius. And you know, maybe you have been quietly healing from something that was secret, something that nobody else knew about. Whether it was a loss or a disappointment or just a private battle over the last 3-6 months. And yeah, I feel like Spirit is saying the worst is behind you. Aquarius, don't fear this. Don't fear your comeback, because your comeback is coming. So in your hopes and fears, you have the Ten of Wands reversed. And this is showing me that you're finally putting down the load. Everything that you have been carrying on your own, you are, excuse me, you are finally putting down the load. So, I mean, this card could literally mean decluttering. You know, you could be doing a spring clean in your home. You could be getting rid of things that you no longer use and you no longer need. You could be, you know, taking a look at your schedule and just being like, this is way too overpacked. I'm burnt out. And you could really be clearing up your work schedule, or you could just emotionally be letting go of responsibilities that were never yours to carry. You know, expectations that were never yours to carry that you've been trying to live up to. You could emotionally be releasing these things and just saying, hey, you know what? I'm not going to carry this anymore. So for some, I feel for some of you, I don't know. I feel like some of you could be looking to move or some travel on the horizon. And if you are thinking, you know what, I've got to get out, I've got to do something, I need a shift, I need a change, I feel like in this situation, you really do need to just stop and think about that, because you are massively burnt out right now. And you are in a space of reaction rather than making really good grounded decisions. And you know, I think running a break's as good as a holiday, a change is as good as a holiday. It's not always unhealthy, but I am being told that you really need to just take a breath and think this one through before you go making any rash decisions this month. So what you've got to celebrate here, we have the Emperor. And the Emperor, I mean, he's powerful, grounded, he is certain. And this is real divine masculine energy. So whether you identify with this right now or whether this is the energy of somebody significant around you, it's Aries energy here. So somebody who is strong, structured, somebody who is a leader. And some of you are reclaiming your authority this month, whether that's in your career or just, you know, your boundaries, standing in your boundaries with authority, or just how you let other people treat you. But if this represents someone in your life, you know, it could be a boss, it could be a father figure, it could just be somebody within your support network, someone who commands presence, but somebody who may have been teaching you some really hard lessons, Aquarius, some really hard lessons about control or accountability. And Spirit saying with this Emperor, it's saying that you're learning how to rule your own empire and not allow somebody else to. So we're closing with the Seven of Swords. And I feel like this card, it's not so much of a warning. It's more of an awareness, okay? This card is about discernment. This card is about moving strategically. You know, not acting impulsively this month, Aquarius, not broadcasting every single plan that you have before you've got the ball rolling on it. Some of you are really learning the power of privacy this month, the power of keeping your energy and your information to yourself. And you know, you don't need to explain your growth to everybody, Aquarius. People don't need to know your growth if you don't want to share it. And you know, some moves, especially some power moves, they are meant to be kept quiet. So Spirit here is saying, you know, trust actions this month, not words. And I mean, you could be dealing with somebody this month whose motives are not clear. You know, possibly an air sign like a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. But there's that smell about them. You just get that feeling that you can't be sure if they're true. And I think that's what we were saying of not rushing into anything this month, about really thinking clearly, really making sure that you're back on your 2 feet before you go chasing something, especially something new. So stay smart. Don't slip into paranoia, okay, Aquarius? But, you know, your intuition knows what's real. Your intuition knows what's right. And your intuition will come when you cut through this fog. But right now, you just need to focus on getting back into your light, getting back into your power. Yeah. Okay, Aquarius, I'm going to close this reading off with an oracle card from the Magical Spirit deck. So what message do we have for Aquarius for the month of October 2025? What is a final message for Aquarius for the month? Okay. The Alchemist. Beautiful. I'll give you a look at this lovely, lovely card, Aquarius. So it says, oh, I don't break like that. Oh, sorry. Oh, I don't break that easy. Not anymore. Instead, I use things as fuel. So no, this card, it's all about empowerment. It's about that transition through pain, and it's about harnessing your own magic, using your pain as the fuel for your magic. And I feel like this month, that is what you're doing. You've had things turned on your head. You've been kept in the dark or had to go through something on your own, quite a struggle. And by spending that time, you've harnessed all of this energetic power from it. And this energetic power is making you want to do something huge and something fast. But that's not the kind of fuel that you need to use it for this month. This month, you need to see the forest from the trees. You need to use it as fuel in that quiet, strong, observing power. Because this month you might need to just keep your pennies in your pocket for a little bit longer than what you would usually, and just sit back and observe the situation or the person that you are dealing with before you give too much away. All right. Well, that's what I have for you this month, Aquarius. Hopefully that resonated. If it did resonate, I would love to hear from you in the comment box below. Leave me a comment letting me know how these energies are showing up or have been showing up in your life lately. And yeah, as always, I'm sending you all of the love and all of the light, and I will talk to you soon. Have an amazing October.